funny when you look back.
It's Aloha Tuesday, gonna swim, bike, and run day. Cause it's breakfast with Bob.
And Poncho Man, everybody. Welcome back to Breakfast with Bob from Kona and Huggo's on the Rocks. My name is Bob Babbitt, brought to you by Master Spas as fuels go longer. HOKA Let's Fly, deboer wetsuits, Forum Smart Swim goggles, Zoot Sports, original triathlon brand, Quintana Roo, Premium Plus Sports, and of course, our Challenged Athletes Foundation, one of the most decorated Ironman athletes of all time. Just, it's unbelievable. She has 100 Ironman finishes. We're talking here in Kona, 6 third places, 1 fourth, 1 fifth, 2 sixths, 2 sevenths, 1 eighth, 1 ninth. It's unbelievable. Fernanda Keller. Round of applause for the great Fernanda Keller.
Thanks, Bob.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
23 years racing as a pro. 5-time Brazil champion, 14-time top 10 and here in Kona. When you came here in 1987, did you have the gut feel that this race was going to be important to you?
When I started doing triathlon, it was all about finishing a race in Brazil. And then I was finishing races and get good results, and a friend of mine told me that that was nothing, because the real race was Kona, Ironman, Hawaii. And I had this in my mind, like, oh my gosh, I have to go to Hawaii to do this Ironman race. And I was early 20s, and I had the dream of finish Kona. So I didn't expect anything.
Right.
I just came by myself with my bike, no friends, nothing, and I was such an adventure to finish an Ironman. And my first finish was in Kona, ever. My first
Ironman finish?
Yeah, 1987. Was a pleasure to finish a race here.
That is so cool that you were able to do that all these years.
Yeah.
And when did you get to the point where you felt like I could be one of the best? Because you end up winning Brazil 5 times, and I look at all the other different, you've done, 9 Ironman Canadas, 12 Frankfurts, 12 Austria, again, 5 in Brazil.
Yeah, well, I came here with no expectations, but the first time I was going back home and a friend of mine, listen, I think you're gonna get in the podium for the top amateurs. And I got in the podium the first time.
Wow.
And I said, oh my gosh, I was going home, and then I started going to San Diego for training because I saw that most of the top triathletes were living there.
Yes.
And I became friends with so many awesome athletes, great athletes there. I started training all day. And when I came here in 1989, I was number 4 in the world, and I said, oh my gosh, now I can play this, and I can have more sponsors. And I spent half of my time in Brazil and half of my time in San Diego. And I became friends with you, Shannon, Murphy was my agent, her husband.
Welchie, all the crew, yeah.
John Duke, and all the Paula. I was training with Paula a lot. She was Murphy's athlete too.
Yes.
So I became part of the game.
Part of the family.
Yeah.
So with this sport, it's one of those sports that one person can have a huge impact in their home country. The sport in Brazil grew a lot because of the awareness that you were bringing to your country from you participating in this event. You must have seen rapid growth in the sport back at home.
Yeah, Bob. I feel like that I'm an ambassador for triathlon in Brazil, and I work really hard. I learn a lot to work as a professional, not
Yes.
only in results as an athlete, but going to the public, working on TV. I work many times with the major TV in Brazil, Global. I put a lot of triathlon in the media,
Yes.
and this year I was so proud yesterday because I saw my legacy material. I saw 50 girls, Brazilian girls, and I invite them to ride with me to celebrate my birthday.
Your 60th birthday,
And
yes.
they all came, so I feel very proud to have many Brazilian girls doing triathlon. Not only girls, boys
Men
and
as well,
girls,
I know.
men as well. And
That started with you.
yeah, I love that. I love because when I start, people thought that I was crazy. We were crazy, like
We all
"What
were
is
crazy."
that?
Yeah.
Triathlon, swimming, biking, and running. No, how long is that? No way, you're not gonna do this. It's too long. So now I see that Ironman is the most tattoo that people
More tattoos
Yeah.
in Brazil or than anywhere
everywhere.
else. Yeah.
I saw some people, they have the tattoo and they never did an Ironman. They dream of doing an Ironman. And when I started in the 80s, I was the crazy one. So I'm proud that.
And also just riding your bike on the streets. I've been to Rio, I've been to Sao Paulo. It's not the safest place to be riding. Just the roads are very narrow. Just how did you find a way to trick? Because a lot of that was before the time of indoor training. You sort of had to ride outdoors.
Well, we don't have the culture of riding bike on streets in Brazil, and it's dangerous.
Yes.
It was tough for me to get ready for Kona and to be in the top here because I have to have a car behind me, motorcycle, and it was very expensive to do the training there because I have a staff for training.
Right.
I can tell people say it's unbelievable. It's not never going out of my house, just me and my bike. But that's the way it was, and I did it. And like I said, I spent half of my time there and half of my time in other places. But that's the way it is.
Yes.
Crazy.
What do you look at after all the races here in Kona? Is there one that sticks out that you think was your best here?
I think all my top three,
Oh, your third
six
places.
time
Yes.
top three in the world was a lot. And today I was telling you that I look behind and say, oh my gosh, I did all that. And I'm so proud because it stays with you forever.
Right.
You know, becomes part of your life. And the most important thing that I could share that with my mom, my dad, my husband, my brother, and all my friends and family that run with me in the Alihi Drive. This is so special to hear your voice and Mike's voice calling me, but not as a distant person, as a Ohana. Brings me all the time back to the finish because it's a feeling of belonging.
Right.
When I come back to Kona, it's like people ask me, why you're here? Because I belong to Kona, I belong to Ironman, and I'm never gonna separate myself because it's a part of history.
2019, you've had so many, we went through all the sixth place, third place, all the great accomplishments. You were not having your day. You were having a tough day, and you had to walk the majority of the marathon. A lot of people would say, well, you've been here 25 times. That was your 26th time. What's the big deal? Just go back to your condo. But you weren't going to drop out. That's not part of your DNA. How important was it to you to finish that race?
What John Collins said, you must finish what you start, always is in my mind when I start an Ironman. It's not about how fast you go, but you have to finish because it's important. It's not only physical, it's spiritual. You learn a lot about yourself when you do a race like this, because you see your beautiful and your ugly side all the time.
One on each shoulder.
And you
It's
have
one saying drop out, one saying
yes,
you can do it.
Yes, and you have to deal with that. You have to learn how to deal with yourself, and then you take this to your personal life, to your professional life, because not all the time things are gonna go right, and it makes me appreciate more the days I had, the best days of my life, and in respect the Ironman
Yes.
and the sport and the other athletes, I must crawl to the finish if necessary. So I finish, and when I finish that race, I get a super special moment with Julie Moss and Shannon Delaney waiting for me with extra flowers. Mike Riley calling my name. And when I hear that, doesn't matter if I was in the top 3 again, but the love I feel was even more, and the respect I got from everybody was even more than when I was winning. So this is so important for people to understand. This is not about beating other people, just beating yourself.
I've seen a lot of that over the years. Years ago, Jürgen Zach walked the marathon. We saw Jan Frodeno walk a big chunk of the marathon a couple of years ago. There's something so special about this island that it is, you want to finish what you start, because that's really the whole Ironman mantra, right? It doesn't matter how long it takes. Your t-shirt's the same as the guy who wins or woman who wins, and your medal's the same. And it's just get from point A to point B. If there's no reason physically you can't get there, it means a lot to cross that line.
Yeah, for me, crossing the Ironman finish line is like, I think the start line is like giving the birth, because you train so hard. It's so many things that you put so much energy, so many months, and then you start the race like, the baby's born. And then when you finish an Ironman, it's like you died, and then now you are going to heaven, because you left everything behind.
Yes.
And it's a new life. You did it. It's like I'm in heaven. So it's how I feel
Exactly.
during the race. It's like, oh my gosh, can't believe it. I crossed in this finish line. So I don't know how. It's a feeling. It's hard to explain, especially for us. You are like passionate people, you know. When we started doing, there was not much money.
No, there was never any
Glad
money.
it's now, but
Yeah, there's a lot more
Yeah.
now. So for you, you have not raced here since 19?
Yes.
2019,
Yes.
since that year. So it's been a number of years, and being back here, like when you get off the plane after not being here for basically 5 years, or 4 years, does it feel the same?
Actually, I qualified here
Yes.
in Huggo, so I came
Oh,
before.
you were here for Huggo, okay.
Huggo, so I qualified here. And, but anyway, every time I come here, I kiss the floor. I pretend my jacket drop off the plane so people don't think I'm crazy, but I always kiss the floor
kiss the ground.
because I have to kiss it. Thanks, God, Pele, I'm back. I always thank God because I'm back here and look into the ocean, and my feeling is gratitude to be here all the time, because it's so hard, so much traveling. It's so expensive to travel from Brazil to Kona, and I look to the sky and I say, thank God I'm back here.
Wow.
And it's became another. I feel like I'm a little bit Hawaiian Brazilian, because my heart. When I come here, when I live here, I know so many people. I made so many friends. And I'm so comfortable in the heat, so I feel home in Hawaii.
I love it. Well, welcome home.
Thank you.
So great to have you here. Fernanda
you.
Keller, everybody. Poncho Man, take us out.
It's Aloha Tuesday. Gonna swim, bike, and run day. What? And it's breakfast with Bob. Gee.
That is a wrap for day 2 of Breakfast with Bob. Thank you, Poncho Man.
Hello,
Thanks,
everybody.
everybody, for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. See ya.